Greetings to all. In this video, we are going to discuss about separation of no-load losses in three-phase induction motor. In last video, we have discussed about indirect loading test on three-phase induction motor, in which we have discussed about no-load and block the rotor tests. And with the help of no-load test, we can able to find the shunt branch parameter of equivalent circuit of a three-phase induction motor. And this shunt branch consists of two elements. One is called magnetizing component XM and another one is called loss component R0. And here in this video, we are just going to concentrate only on this loss component, because due to this loss component, we can able to find the value of constant loss occurring in three-phase induction motor, and we used to call this constant loss as fixed loss. And with the help of conducting no load test on three-phase induction motor, we can able to find this constant loss. So we used to call this constant loss also known as no load power loss. So this is the equivalent circuit what we used to discuss throughout this chapter, and with the help of no load test we can able to find all these parameters. So this is a shunt branch and we can able to find the value of all the parameters. So this is the loss component, and we can find the value of constant loss simply by applying Ohm's law, that is V1 square by R0 will be the value of constant loss, that is no load power loss. So now in this video we are just going to separate the components present in this no load loss. So now we'll see what are the components available in this constant loss. So this no load loss, also called fixed or constant loss, in which we are having two components. One is core loss and another one is called mechanical loss. Iron loss also known as core loss, and we know losses called hysteresis and eddy current loss are nothing but iron loss, and whereas the combination of friction and windage loss is nothing but mechanical loss. So now we'll see the relation between these losses with supply voltage and frequency. So we know the formula of hysteresis and eddy current loss, and here hysteresis loss is having direct relation with maximum flux density and supply voltage. Likewise, eddy current loss is also having a direct relation with frequency and maximum flux density. Here in hysteresis loss, we are just going to consider the power of flux density as 2, because we know the range of this flux density power is 1.5 till 2.5. So just for approximation, here we are taking the power of the flux density as 2. So now we are just going to find the relation between losses and supply voltage and frequency, and we can say hysteresis loss is directly proportional to supply frequency and square of the maximum flux density, and we can write this maximum flux density as flux per unit area. So here flux size square divided by A square, and we know the resultant flux is directly proportional to V by F. So by replacing the value of flux by voltage and frequency, we can write this as V square by F square. So at last we can say hysteresis loss is directly proportional to V square by frequency. Now for eddy current loss, it is having direct relation with the square of the frequency as well as flux density. So by substituting the value of flux density as flux per unit area, we can write this as psi square by A square, and we can write psi square as V square by F square, and at last eddy current is having direct relation with V square. So we have found the relation between the losses and supply voltage and frequency, and for separating these core and mechanical losses in the constant loss, we are just going to perform this separation of no load loss experiment by reducing the supply voltage from its rated value. By keeping frequency as constant, we are just going to reduce the supply voltage alone for separating these two losses. Now we'll see the reason for reducing the frequency voltage alone. And next, this mechanical loss will happen only on the rotor part, especially at the time of rotor's rotation. Then only we can have variation in the friction and windage loss. So we can say this mechanical loss is directly proportional to rotor speed. But at the time of conducting no load test on this induction motor, this rotor speed will approach almost synchronous speed because rotor is free to rotate at the time of conducting no load test. So we can say at no load test, mechanical loss is directly proportional to synchronous speed, and we know synchronous speed is directly proportional to supply frequency. So at last we can say mechanical loss is directly proportional to supply frequency. So our aim is we have to separate core loss and mechanical loss from this constant loss. So we can say this by keeping frequency as constant, we can easily find the value of the mechanical loss. And with the help of this mechanical loss, we can find the value of core loss from this constant loss. So because of that only we are going for reduction in the voltage and by keeping frequency as a constant. So now we'll see the effect of reduction in the voltage. So our aim is we have to reduce the supply voltage from its rated value by keeping frequency as constant. So by reducing the supply voltage, we can have a reduction in the flow of current into the stator field coil. So we can say the current required for creating main field flux, that is magnetizing current component, will get reduced, and because of that the resultant flux creation will get reduced. And the core loss, because we know hysteresis and eddy current, both these losses are having a direct relation with the square of the supply voltage. So if we are going to reduce the voltage, we can have reduction in the core loss. And what about mechanical loss? We know we are not having any direct dependency on voltage, so it is going to remain constant throughout this experiment. And here we are having reduction in the core loss. So because of that we can have less current flow to the loss component. So IW also will get reduced, that is working current also will get reduced. And due to the reduction in both IW and IM, we can have a reduction in I0 also. So we can say I0, this no load current also will get reduced. And due to that no load current reduction, we can have reduction in the stator copper loss, that is called no load stator copper loss. And entire loss component is getting reduced because of the reduction in the supply voltage. So we can say the no load power W0, what we can measure by using 2 wattmeter method, also will get reduced. So what about power factor? Here we are having reduction in the current. So we can say power factor is going to get increased because the reduction in the magnetizing current component is very much greater than the reduction in the working component. Because we know the relation between flux and the magnetizing current, if we are going to reduce the value of current, we can consider this point as a maximum flux, that is resultant flux psi r, and by reducing the value of flux, and it is going to have drastic changes. If you are going to have a reduction in the flux, it is going to have drastic changes, that is drastic decrease in the magnetizing current. So we can say that reduction in voltage will lead to drastic reduction in the magnetizing current while comparing with working current. So because of that, we can say power factor is getting increased. So these are the effects because of reduction in the supply voltage. And this is the experimental result for the separation of no load losses, and we can obtain this by conducting no load test on 3-phase induction motor. And we know for separating this no load loss, we are just going to conduct no load test by reducing the supply voltage and keeping supply frequency as a constant. And at the time of supplying rated voltage to the machine while conducting no load test, we can get the constant loss value. So this point is the constant loss value, but our aim is we have to separate these no load losses into two components. One is iron and another one is called mechanical loss. So now what we are going to do is we are going to conduct no load test with the reduced voltage. So starting from rated voltage, we are just going to reduce the supply voltage and we can take some readings. And after connecting all the set of readings what we have taken from no load test, we can get this parabolic pattern. And now for separating this no load loss, we are just trying to extrapolate this curve towards this y axis. So from origin until this intersection on y axis, we can say this is the range of mechanical loss, because we know mechanical loss is independent of voltage. So here the voltage value is 0, so we can say this portion is the mechanical loss, and we know the rest of the portion will be the iron loss. So this is about the separation of no load losses in 3-phase induction motor. The first thing is we have to find the number of components available in the component losses, and we are going to find the relation between those losses with the supply voltage and frequency, because here we are going to have a supply voltage and frequency at the time of conducting no load test, because we know the flow of current into the rotor part is 0, so only the presence of no load current is available. Because of that, we are concentrating much on the reduced voltage and a frequency. So after finding the relation with supply voltage and frequency, by conducting experiments with reduced voltage, we are just plotting those reading, and it is going to have a parabolic pattern, and after the intersection of that parabolic curve with the y-axis, we are just separating no load losses as mechanical and iron losses. So this is about separation of no load loss, and in next video I will discuss about circle diagram in 3-phase induction motor. Thank you.